PD. It's gonna be 5 at the door. Alright. Alright, you're good. You go inside.
To have 2 bands with me today. I've also never done this. I want to kind of like preface how this started, which was Frank goes, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast with us and Troubled Minds?" And it was like this other band, Troubled Minds. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Yeah, we'll do a video and everything." I'm like, what?" And so after figuring it out, we're here in the east side of Nashville. And I have members of Troubled Minds and Goodridge here. Everyone introduce themselves.
Cool.
So I'm Michael, vocalist from Goodridge.
Hi, I'm Frank. I'm the guitarist of Goodridge.
I'm Matt. I sing and play guitar in Troubled Minds.
It's
Chris from Goodridge, guitarist.
Alright, well, what's up, everyone? How is Nashville today? Did you all get a time to like explore? Are you guys just hanging out?
Just eating food. We ate gyros.
Lots
The
of
shit
food.
was hard.
We just got here.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
not explored yet, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So a little bit of context here. I tried to book a show for everybody here tonight, and I'm also bad at that. So we're making up for it by doing this little podcast, and I'm really happy that y'all are here and that y'all made it safe, especially through the bullshit traffic in Atlanta.
Atlanta's terrible.
There was some traffic.
It's fucking ridiculous. So let's talk about the tour. How has tour been? Where are y'all on the tour? And let's just kind of go around to see how everything's going.
Yeah.
Matt, you can go.
Yeah, it's been pretty great. We went on tour to Fest with a band called Crushed. They're based out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Shows were cool. Albuquerque was really cool. We played a lot of places in the South that we had never played before, like Louisiana. But yeah, it was all sick. Fest was tight, and then we linked up with Goodridge in Georgia, and played a sweet show in Statesboro.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I hit up Cameron from Farseek. They stayed at my house when they came to Tulsa, and I think did we play with them or did Fevers play with them? We played with them. Yeah. So they stayed at my house. So I was like, Cameron, let me get that payback, and he hooked us up with a cool show and let us crash at his house, and we all sat there. His house is beautiful, by the way. Mm-hmm. You should definitely go to it one day.
It is a beautiful home.
Yeah, and then we cranked it to Fest after that, and here we are, I guess. We played Atlanta yesterday.
Everyone fucking played Fest.
Yeah.
So, is this everyone's first Fest?
Yeah.
It is.
So
Yeah,
let's kind of walk through really quickly. How long before you knew you were gonna play Fest? How did you guys build this whole thing around Fest?
Yeah, totally. You start.
Yeah. Okay. So we all played with Dikembe and Glazed, and then
Cool.
Glazed crashed at my house because if you're in Tulsa, stay at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Glazed crashed at my house, and I was like, "How do you guys get on Fest?" And like we heard about it through Cliff Diver, and like we saw them go to it, and like it helped them a lot. And
Yeah, sure.
tremendously.
See, it's pretty huge.
It's
like
massive.
It's huge.
It's massive.
Yeah.
So I was like, help me out. And they sent me the email. I emailed the dude, and this is last year, by the way. I emailed the dude, and I was like, I know bands drop. Let me get on Fest. And he was like, I like your music, but no. And he's like, he's like, hit me up next year when we start like accepting people. Waited, hit him up. We got accepted immediately. They sent us everything we needed. We signed the papers for it. We came in, and then I saw Matt at Margaritaville, right?
Yeah, that's what you played.
Well, we first started talking about Fest at. It was that show we played together.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Tulsa.
Yeah. Before we even got accepted, we were talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we weren't even accepted then. I was just letting you know that it's like a thing that I wanted everybody to do because I feel like if all of my homies are doing the same thing that I want to do.
And would everyone be in the same fucking place?
Right.
Like that would be so
It'd
sick.
be fucking fun.
Yeah.
So we talked about it then, and then we got accepted actually, and then when I saw you at NAR, I like gave you the information. I was like, apply, please apply. Yeah. And we all got it, and we're all here. It was fun.
Yeah, that was like I think we got it in January.
Yeah.
Like I sent the email like first week of January, and like at some point in January they confirmed us for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you wait a whole year for it, you know, pretty much, and it was definitely worth it. It was such a good time.
100%.
Yeah.
What makes it different than any other than playing margarita? Like, is it like the way I've seen it? It's like a bunch of bars that are like tied together in a web, and like it's festival, citywide festival almost.
Yes.
So it was some bars, but they also had like different like non-standard videos. Like there was like a little bookstore that people were playing.
Cute.
There was a big stage and like an outdoor arena. So there's a lot of different spots through there. I want to say it was like 6 or 7 different spots to go see music. Which was just nice because the number of bands on it. I mean, if you look at the flyer, it's just like hundreds.
I think it was 300-ish
Yeah.
bands.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
over 3 days.
Over 3 days. So you've got about 100 bands a day.
Yeah.
Oh,
over
that's so
maybe
fucked. You won't be able to
8
see everyone.
venues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
it works. It's like it's basically like what music starts at around noon.
Yeah.
And then it keeps going until like 2 in the morning.
Non-stop.
8
Non-stop,
different venues. Yeah. So it's wild. It works.
Yeah.
Is it all pretty close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So you
It's-
can potentially see like a bunch of fucking people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's like punk rock Disneyland. That's
Yeah,
what that's how
cool.
I think of it.
That's cool.
And it's like there's all these rides, and that's
Yeah.
all the stages, and you're just on your feet all day, running around,
Okay,
catching
cool.
everybody and everything.
Seeing other
Um,
bands too. And
Waiting in
everything.
line. You have to wait in line for these venues. And so like you do fest once and like you learn how to do fest again next
Sure,
year and
sure,
how to
sure.
do it better.
Yeah.
The welcoming.
Yeah, you just have to do it once. It's a fucking
Yes.
test drive.
It
100%.
is because it goes by so fast, and I definitely want to play fest next year, because you will have to wait in line because these venues that like no venue is ever empty at any point in time.
Crazy.
Everything is packed out. So like I wanted to see Anorak, and we got there at their set time, and there was a line. I kid you not, like wrapped around the building, and I'm
Yeah.
just like.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't get to see them. So like, if you really want to see a band, you have to get there 10 minutes early.
You might have to
Yeah.
sacrifice
Barter
the
way
band
in.
that you were seeing.
Crazy.
Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
like yeah, find some way to sneak your
Yeah,
fucking ass
For
in.
real. I
Yes.
did that with guilt. I
Yeah.
really
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It seems like, joining DIY, a lot of my podcast is like my experience of like entering the DIY community and like through the lens of my own experiences, and like the fest stuff is what my project wants to get more involved with next year. Would you say that a year before, for most bands, would you say like looking that January time, it's like December, January, anything that you want to play next year, find out then, and that's when you're like starting to email. Would you say like is it a year ahead now?
For
Yeah.
fests, yeah,
Yeah.
it's about a year ahead.
But most like big festivals like that have submissions like either the year before or like a year span, because building all of that stuff and scheduling all of that stuff, they made an app for it. Like
Yeah.
it takes time, so like you really have to be like looking at the fest that you want to play, because most of them will be like, hey, we're submitting right now, and it'll be like 4-day submissions, and like you have to like hit it within those 4 days or you don't get in it.
Wild.
Yeah, so like that's kind of like.
Do you think everyone should be able to like? Do you think that there's any thing that stops you from applying to something like this, or do you think everyone should like try no matter what and like fucking no?
Yeah.
Just like find the way and apply.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
100%.
yeah, totally shoot your
Put in the
shot.
work, man.
Always shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Definitely, like have standards for your band. Like feel like you deserve it.
Yeah.
Regardless
Yeah.
of
Okay.
what it is,
Fair.
yeah, do
I
it.
think that's
Yeah.
a really really good
Yeah,
point. I
have
think that.
confidence.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of like bands that like I've talked to online that either have their whole thing be like nervous
Mhm.
all the time.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that makes what I love about y'all's bands, both y'all's bands, is there is like this confidence where it's like, oh no, we're just gonna do all this stuff.
Yeah,
And like,
absolutely,
and it's like, it's almost with like a sense of blinders as well, where like, and like not to talk shit, it's
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
because it's like go for it. Like
Yeah.
there's literally, it's one of the few I think endeavors of being a human is doing band stuff
Yeah.
and literally just putting the concrete block on the gas pedal
Yeah.
and just all you're doing is steering.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it's the only time where it's kind of looked good upon.
Yeah.
Like to do that. And because I think that there's like, I think that everyone can go through 1,000 days of doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that it doesn't look bad, and you can do it for a really long time.
Just to go straight for your goal.
Just to go straight for it, and you can kind of say fuck everyone else,
Yeah.
and you kind of get 3 to 4 years to just kind of do that.
Yeah.
Like, I would say that, like, I mean, Matt, you've been in this band for even longer.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that, like, after doing this for 10 years, what do you think is, like, your biggest takeaway from, like, trying to do the big band thing?
Well, you know, I mean, over the course of 10 years, it's been like local band stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like, okay, I want to tour, but I'll wait for everybody to like feel ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like a pandemic, so there was a lot of like, I want to go. I want to go.
Okay. Cool.
And like, you kind of just have to go do it. Like you said, put the concrete block on the gas pedal, and your band might not be in the car
Mhm.
when you do that, and you kind of just have to go.
Yeah.
And I waited almost 10 years, and then finally, I'm just going to use your analogy,
Mhm.
after maybe 8 or so years, I kind of just put the concrete block on the gas pedal,
Mhm.
and whoever could keep up, kept up.
Cool.
And I feel like, honestly, I'm feeling like just now I've found the band after 10 years.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
that feels huge.
Yeah.
It feels huge, and I mean, every place is different, every band is different, every group of people is different, everybody's experiences will be different. But like for me, it was like, I'm going right now because I've waited long enough,
Yeah.
and that's just how I put my band together.
Do you think that, so, like, I didn't start my band until I was, like, 33. And I didn't feel uncomfortable doing that. It was just more of like a, hey, I'm gonna do it. We're just gonna, again, like, I figured that out immediately that I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna do this, concrete block, like, okay, cool.
We're
And
doing
then,
it.
like, I told my wife before, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I need 1,000 days. And I think that there's, you know, we talked about, you know, I think there's nothing. I think I'm so excited for y'all because I think that you've burst through a ceiling. Or do you feel like that the music is different now that you've been doing this for 10 years, where you're finally hitting strides? Like, what do you think that, like, in this part of the band, are you more excited for, like, the rest of the time in this, or do you feel like you're, like, reaching a, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for so long, or I'm finally at the spot where I can keep going?
It's like all of it at the same time.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for a long time too,
Yeah,
though.
we've both been doing this for a
Yeah.
minute. Like,
Yeah, dude,
This
like-
isn't our first band.
You
but-
really quickly,
Yeah.
I may be the oldest, but Frank is the second oldest here.
I'm
Yeah.
also, I have a walker in my car.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been doing this for a while. You can talk on it too.
And I mean, I feel like for me, it's always just the joy of, you know, creating music, making new
Sure.
stuff, making new strides, doing new things. I mean, like, this is our first time in Atlanta, our first time, you know, seeing Florida, doing all that. So, you know, for me, it's all just exciting to keep pushing forward and seeing how far we can get with everything. And yeah, I mean, I feel like as long as you're making progress, like, it sometimes is less progress, sometimes it's more progress, but you know, we just kind of shoot for it and do as much as we can.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like it's something that you need to do as a band. Also, the speed bumps that you hit, like, it's a lot of things against you that will make you stop being in a band or make you stop doing this stuff, and you have to, like, figure out ways and solutions to get past that shit. Because, like, there's always going to be something. It's always going to be someone quitting. It's always going to be someone working. It's always going to be someone with, like, sickness or something like that. You just have to figure out a way to do it. Like, us coming on this tour, we lost a drummer and our bassist got married. We love our bassist. Shout out CJ.
Did y'all play the wedding?
No.
You played a wedding recently.
I played a wedding with Moore's Village.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But like, we lost our drummer and we lost our bassist, and Michael is our vocalist. Like, he's our standing vocalist. He's not a drummer.
Yeah.
He like learned the drums in like 3 weeks, and then
I was
fucking.
like, all right, let's get it.
Let's go,
It's
let's
like,
go.
singing,
yeah,
playing.
this run I've been
And-
doing, you know, both of them, and
Yeah.
Devin has been playing bass.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
typically he's on guitars, but it was like, all right, let's learn it, let's figure it out.
There's
let's get
something
it done.
endearing about it, because you guys were telling me about this before we started recording, where my immediate reaction was, okay, I'm quitting. Like, when it comes to, like, a roadblock thing, I get so much anxiety thinking about, like, the stuff that I have planned, plus the things that can happen in between those moments.
Yeah.
And so to see you learning drums and learning
Yeah.
these parts, that's like there's man, I guess I am just not as flexible. That's crazy.
No,
I'm
yeah.
so proud of you guys for
I mean,
doing
the
that.
anxiety is definitely still
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, we all just love it so much that it's like it's worth it. At the end of the day, it's still
Yeah.
worth it.
And I mean, these moments make you stronger.
Yeah.
You know, switching people around on instruments and like getting new members, you gain more experience through those processes, and you
Yeah.
come out of it a stronger band.
Yeah.
You know. Also, nothing in life ever goes as planned.
Yeah,
That's
for
the thing
sure.
I have
Yeah.
learned is that like you make a plan, and part of your plan should be Plan B.
Yeah.
And C, and
And
D,
and what if this happens? What if that happens?
Yeah.
And you just like you can try and plan it out, and sometimes things go as planned. But a huge part of life is just being flexible.
Yeah.
And just be prepared for everything, for all the shit to hit all the fans. You know?
Yeah.
It might happen.
Prepared to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's hard.
So when it comes to like the tour part, and I was scouring kind of like Instagram stuff. Y'all bought a van.
We did.
Y'all bought a
We
van.
made that choice.
Let's talk about that choice. Let's talk about the choice
Nah,
of the van.
good.
Let's talk about it. Well, I think
Bought a van.
you're the only person that I know outside of equipment that recently bought a van. They had to buy a van because theirs broke down. Y'all bought your first van. So
Yeah.
the when it comes to that decision, was it mainly like, okay, cool, I've got X amount of years left. I think this is a good investment, or would you say like this is just going to be easier if I do this right now? Because I think a lot of
I'm
people
not
want to buy a
prepared.
van. I think a lot of people want to do the van,
Yeah, the van
but
is
don't know
hard.
when
Yeah.
that step is.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can also rent a van.
If
but
you
if you
can
rent a
rent,
van,
exactly.
Your money's gone.
your money's gone.
expense,
Like
yeah.
it would be the question wouldn't be are we breaking even or making money on this tour? It would be are we losing money or losing a lot of money on this tour?
Exactly.
So like if you're touring as a small band, I think that owning your vehicle might make sense, but I'm still now trying to figure it out because in Texas earlier this month, our engine kept overheating. So we were in Abilene, Texas, and we were trying to call like just every mechanic to see who could help us out. Finally, one guy said he could help us out, and he said, "Hey, you need a new radiator. There's a crack in your radiator. I'll fix it for you for $900." We pulled the trigger on that. We got 3 hours out of town, and we started overheating again. It was not the freaking radiator. And now we're at a $900.
Yeah.
And that could have been $900 that we used to rent a van. So, here's the bottom line. Bands are a gamble.
Yeah.
If you want to start a band, you want to go on tour, you are gambling.
Yeah.
That is what this is.
Do you think that it's more about the story anyways? Like, it's like, hey, when I'm in my 50s, I want to say that I fucking did
And
this shit.
there is that factor to it too. And of course, yeah, but here's the thing, we were also touring in an SUV before this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
saving a little money on gas, but it was a little bit more uncomfortable. We could still tow a small trailer, which
Sure.
we still have. We're just a little bit more comfortable on longer tours now. Spending a little bit more on gas for that.
Do you sleep in the van? That's a question.
Occasionally.
Yeah, but now you
Occasionally.
can.
You can.
Yeah, occasionally some of us will sleep in the van and some of us will sleep inside or whatever.
Yeah.
We've three-pieced it on tours before, and if it's just three of us,
It's
yeah,
so
we can all
perfect.
sleep in the
It's
van.
so nice.
It is, yeah. Everybody gets their own bench and it's cool. But yeah, that's a tough question, and I'm still, because sometimes I look at that thing and I'm like, did I just fucking waste so much money?
But don't, dude, I'm just,
Literally that.
I was so happy. I'm so happy that I at least get to ask the question because I feel like it is the narrative thing. I think that we're all, like in D&D, we're all writing a book together when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think that, like, it's really, really strange to be, like, first of all, being in a band is an inherently selfish thing, so there's this, I've had a lot of fights with myself, I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like, is this, am I jerking myself off too much by even, like, doing this as much?
Yeah.
But I think that one of the reasons that we do all do this is because there is a nice story that we're all writing together, that we all are making these weirdo memories together, where it's
Yeah.
like, I happen to live in Nashville, bands that I love happen to be here, and we get to do this really weird video thing that, like, I'm sitting here, like, I'm forgetting that the camera's on.
Yeah.
It's just been really, really, really chill.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
Chris,
touring
you haven't
with
said
people?
anything.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying being away from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Enjoying being away from my job.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready to go back home.
that was. All right. How long?
How many
have you
days
guys
have you guys been on the road?
Fucking 6.
Yeah.
6, yeah.
No, actually, that's a pretty solid time.
Yeah.
How long is it total?
The 7.
Just the 7?
Yeah, I think it's 7.
We have 2
it's
weeks.
8. Well,
2
it's
weeks.
8.
Okay.
It's 8.
Because
So where are y'all after this?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
And then what? It's 6 hours back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
It's not bad.
I immediately have to go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
From
So we're
Ooh,
like, pull up and then he's
goddamn!
on, yeah, like he's gonna.
Okay,
do a
cool.
12-hour
Yeah.
shift.
Okay, hell yeah, hell yeah. Actually, there is something that I do with everyone. I like asking what everyone's day jobs is.
Oh yeah.
I think it's really, really important because I don't think that I'm interviewing anyone that does this full time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't want to. I find that boring though, because I like the 2 lives everyone lives.
Yeah.
Where it's, hey, I have to do this thing, this weirdly, inherently selfish thing that costs money and time and can sometimes cost relationships. Where it's like, hey, but I'm blindly going forward. But then there's this thing that funds it,
Yeah.
and there's this thing that also develops this other half of you. So let's go around. What does everyone do for their day jobs?
Starting with me.
Yeah.
So I work for Best Buy.
Awesome.
I do. I'm in like a one-off position there called SWAT, which is essentially financials and running like the back end, so all the ins and outs. But yeah, I mean, it's just a ton of going over like stock counts, vendor purchase orders, stuff like that.
Cool.
Just
Computer
retail.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like big old good admin like salary. Like is this like a PTO job that you're on right now, or like?
Yeah, so I was able to put PTO in. I did put a day of unpaid,
Sure.
just because I didn't need a full like 40 hours for the week, just doing 32 on the second week. But
Totally.
yeah, I mean, I'm getting most of it covered by PTO.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Me?
Mhm.
I am in school for software engineering. That's it. My school pays for my like rent and stuff. I bartend on the side for like random things, and I do work at a music video on the side. Live Vanguard.
We've talked. You do a lot of.
I do a lot of
lot of
side
fingers, a
stuff.
lot of pots.
I do a lot of side stuff. I'm super hustly. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, let me get this money. But it's like I do that. I printed shirts. Like I printed a Mary Mortem shirt, which is like a shoegaze, doomgaze band in Tulsa, and they paid us, and that's what I used for this tour.
Oh.
You know, so like I do a lot of side stuff to make money, but like mainly my goal is like school. Like
Yeah.
it's solely to have time to do my homework.
Yeah.
Like
totally.
really, that's it.
Awesome.
That's
What do
it.
you do?
I'm a freelance audio engineer. So
Awesome.
yeah, I get to do sound, live sound, recording. Basically, is like the two sides of me. I've got a venue gig, Yucca Tap Room. Shout out Yucca Tap Room.
Oh yeah.
In Tempe. I've got, let's see, a theater, or that's a casino gig, and then I've got church gig. This is all live sound, and then I pick up other things here and there. Occasionally doing sound at like the Nile, and then for recording, yeah, I just have my own home studio where bands record with me. And then, yeah, that is what I do for money.
I'll have to have you send the website. We'll pull like the links of everyone's like little
The side
freelance.
job.
Yeah.
I've
I've
got all
got
side quest shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a machine operator for a paper bag company.
Machinist.
Oh, what? What
Yeah.
is that? So
I make paper bags for like almost every single paper bag that you've probably touched.
that's
Wow.
so good. I love
Yeah.
that. Oh my god. Okay, cool. That is like, I think it's really, really cool hearing about, or at least having other people hear about that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
it makes it a little less scary.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, no. I think the thing with DIY and specifically DIY music is that everyone has their own kind of like. Everyone, if you're a reply guy looking at this stuff, a reply girl looking at this stuff, and you're just excited for seeing people doing these bands, it's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And which is another reason why I started the podcast at the beginning. I was like, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I wonder if I could talk to other bands about it.
Yeah.
And like I wanted, because like there's got to be some solidarity here. Or at least everyone needs to understand that, like, you know, we're not in this. We're in this together.
Yeah.
We're not just like all blindingly like doing this thing to hurt ourselves alone.
Like, there's people are dealing with so much stuff in their life.
Yeah, like, and so that's really, really cool. But so I'm gonna play a song from both of y'all. So would you want me to play the new single?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool. So we'll play the new single from Yalls. And what song from y'all would you
So
like to
we've
hear?
already done half. I should probably some.
We'll do Sunflower.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So here are 2 songs, and I'm gonna edit all this stuff here.
And here's the other song.
I feel just like a moth that keeps returning to the flames. I let the afternoon slip by me while I slowly slipped away, and not counting clouds are floating past me, fumes escaping from the source. Maybe it's interest claiming my entrance, maybe it's fate and nothing more, but I've been here before. I got no foot anchored in trading looks in a town I'm limited in. It's a stoplight, it's just a matter of time. And I've been too high to fly, too drunk to drive, shouting curses at whatever God's left up in the sky. Still waiting on a reply, but I've been here before. I've been here before. I thought I had everything figured out. Most days it's straight, but even if lightning strikes twice, I'm gonna stand up 3 times today. Ashes flash back together and the rest they can burn away. 'Cause I keep myself together most days. Maybe it's the price that I pay for the words that I say, but I feel it build up at the end of every day. Sunflower in late June, leaves fall off where they stand. I thought I had everything figured out. Most days it's straight, but even if lightning strikes twice, I'm gonna stand up 3 times today. Ashes flash back together and the rest they can burn away. 'Cause I keep myself together most days.
Hey, thanks y'all so much for fucking stopping by Nashville. I'm glad that we could still hang out and I get to see y'all and just have a safe rest of y'all's tour.
This was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool. Bye y'all.
Bye.